Okay, and then we had this project that how to assemble this our engine, and first part is this that we need this our piston, and for that purpose we need this piston rings, and these piston rings we can install this carefully in their inner area, and in that area we need to be very carefully that we don't damage these piston rings. And then I move that piston ring in that way, and now then I check that piston ring is in right position, and now I insert in upper one, and I can install this lower one in same idea, but now I leave that out, and then when I install this my part, I do so that I need this cylinder tube, what is in here, and I need to install this my piston in here, in that way. But before of that, I need to install this my piston to this connection rod, and that's I install this connection rod in this one in here, and then when this piston came in here, I can insert that my part in this way, and then I press that carefully, not too much force, and now it goes in there. And in these holes in here, what is here, I can use in here small pins in here, that this rod is in right position. But now I don't insert this, but it is good to insert these rods, these pins in here, that these parts are together in these small holes, some pin. And then when I like to insert this piston in this my cylinder, I carefully insert that in here, and then I carefully move that in here. Now it went in there, and in that position it's good to use oil. Now this this part is in that position, and next part are these my engine blocks areas. And before of that, I need to install this my bearings. First one is in there, and second one is in there, and then I insert that block in this position, and then this part in here. And before of that, I think that I can add actually this my piston in this position, and then I can a little bit carefully hammer this bearing in this position, and then I insert that in here, and then that one, and then I need to only compress these parts together, and then carefully I can use my hammer when I install that way. Good, looks good, and carefully. And now, and in that position, look, I have used gasket in here, gasket. And now these parts comes together. I check that is everything okay. Everything should be okay. Okay, good. And then in these positions, I need these screws. I need to insert in there my screws, that this engine will be in right way. Now I am inserting these screws in here. Okay, that way, and then I need to rotate. I need to take my screwdriver. Good. And then in here next screw. And then I add in here more. more my screw. More screws in here. And then it's important to insert these gaskets in all of these joints. There is no any leaks. There is no any leaks in there. Now I fasten these bolts. Good. And then when I have fastened these bolts, we continue because it takes a little bit time. Okay, and now we are in that step that I have inserted in there 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts, and now this block is together, and then I have inserted the cylinder tube in there, and then I inserted in here 1 and 2 screws, and then I added in there also this intake manifold. This is plastic, and there is 1 and 2 bolts. And next I am planning to insert in here this spark plug, and this spark plug hole is in here in the cylinder tube up area, and I need to rotate that spark plug in there back in that way and fasten well. And then important part is this ignition coil, and for that purpose when I check in that area in here, I need to insert next this ignition coil in that position. Okay, and then next I insert in here this ignition coil, and for that I insert that my machine in this position, and then in this crankshaft there is a small hole where I insert this small metallic plate. This is like locking in here in that small area. Now it's in their position. Good. And then I insert this my ignition coil fill, and there is this small line what goes in that pin, and in that position when I a little bit move, it suddenly goes easily deeper. And now I check that is this just in right. Okay, now it's in there. Good. Now it's there. Excellent. And then in that position I need to install this bolt. What is this? Locking bolt. And this part moves in there nicely in this way. Good. Now it's in position, and then in this upper part I need to install this my ignition coil. It is in here, and it comes in this position in that way. There's this second bolt. And note that there is very small line between that in here. There is small line between that coil and then this feed. And then I fasten these bolts. I fasten these bolts in here, that this coil is in position. Screws in there. Excellent. Now these bolts are there. Okay, and then I check that is this flywheel moving in here nicely, because it must move. Okay, now it moves. Good. And then I fasten that. This bolt. Okay. Now these bolts are fine, and then I insert this ignition coil and spark plug cable in there, and then next one is to insert this carburetor what I have in here, and this part goes in there nicely. There is this carburetor, and it goes in there nicely when I insert in that way. And here, then I insert this my carburetor. It goes nicely in there. And only bolts in there. Okay. Now carburetor goes nicely in there. Good. And then I can insert in just in the up one, in that position, this carburetor holder, and there is also this choke switch what helps this starting, and that's I insert that choke what helps starting also in this position in here. Now when we look in that area, I can insert this bolt in here, and that bolt in directly in there, and then also this second bolt in that way. Good. And then I fasten these bolts. Good. Now, and then the second bolt also. Okay, good. And then choke is also working. Choke, okay, good. And then I think that I insert in this exhaust manifold also in here. It comes in that position. Exhaust manifold. Exhaust manifold bolts are there. A little bit bigger tool. And I fasten these bolts. Okay, good. And then this lower one. Okay, good. That way, excellent. And now this my engine is quite ready for starting. And in that position in here, I need to insert this my start switch what comes in just in that way. Okay, good. And now it works. Then I can start this my engine. Good. And now final step is that I need to install this my gas cable in here, and it comes in here, and now I can move this my carburetor, and then I need to of course add in here a little bit gasoline, and then when I have add in, I think that I have some of these cover parts, but I install next in here. I put that one, and then I have also in one cover in here, and one I have made in here nice plastic parts in here, in just in this central area in here. And when my plastic covers are ready in here, we can soon go to test that my system, that how this starts, how this system starts. These parts became in here, and I have also in here this cover in this intake manifold area in that way, and now this cover is in back, and when I add these parts in here together, also these covers, we can go to test that how this my engine runs. Okay, and next I will insert that cover parts also, and then we go to test drive that video next in outside, and then we continue. Okay, and then these parts, when that cover comes in here, there is spark plug hole, then I can take these, I can fasten these bolts in here. Okay, and then is this gas wire and this throttle wire, and it comes in that slot in here. And then when I rotate the engine, there is this bolt what is in here, and I need to rotate that in that position, and then this cable fits in there very nicely in that way. Okay, now it's in like position. Okay, and then this next part is the idea that I assemble these things back, and there is this metallic spring what comes so that it takes contact in this side, and that's I need to press that in here and then in that position, and then when spring is right, this tool works. Now it went wrong. Again I load that, then in here, then I press that thing, and then this cable, it comes in here and in here, and in these positions I insert these screws what keeps this cable in right place. Okay, and there is this power on and off switch, and then this cover comes in here in that way, and these bigger screws, they came in here and here and in here, and then these smaller screws comes in these slots in here. Okay, and then I continue.